See?
Oh.
All right. Do we have any announcements that we need to make, Jared, before we start this?
I don't think we have anything. We talked about last week. The was it fall or autumn will be our next challenge, and I don't think really anything else has changed since then. So I know we have a leadership meeting coming up sometime in the next week or so. So
the next challenge is what, fall?
Yeah, I think we called it Harvest.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just whatever that creates in your own mind. Harvest.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, Scott's going to be our timer in Monique's absence today. So when we do start.
Woohoo.
All right, so we'll start. This is Amanda's image, and let's see. What does everybody think?
I think from a composition perspective, it's really good because you're kind of using a symmetrical composition here, which is good. I like the lead in line of the bridge. I think the top back section of the bridge itself is a little hot, little too bright. And the woods or the trees or the target behind it, I wish that was a little lighter. So it would give me a place to end and look at. Because, the bridge is leading me there. But it would have been nice to have that a little lighter, bring the shadows down in that area. And like I said, at least on my screen here, the very top end of the bridge looks just a little hot to me. Just my 2 cents.
No, I would agree with that. You lose all the detail in the wood, just how hot it is. Amanda, do you know what we mean when we say hot?
Yeah, no, I can definitely see it looking at it. I will say that I shot this image in black and white, and I've done very, very little adjustment to it. So I'm glad that, having sort of the other sets of eyes to point that stuff out, like now I can definitely see it where I didn't really notice it before. So those are definitely things that I agree with, that I would want to try and modify going forward.
Yeah. I think
you shot it in RAW?
I'm sorry?
You shot it in RAW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
So I was going to say, just compositionally too, I may have tried to take like a step to the right. You're just a little off center. And I don't know if maybe if that was your goal, then you did a great job. I don't know if Dennis would agree with that, or Jared, or anybody else, but just, it's such a symmetrical or potentially symmetrical image that having it a little off center is throwing me off a little bit. I can't help but to notice.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Right. Now, when I shot it, I was trying.
I agree with that, Sean. And I also think, like, if you look at the boards, it's kind of throwing the horizon off, where the horizon might be straight, but like that first board where you can see the gap, it kind of looks like it's higher on the left-hand side of the image. Maybe it's because of the railing being more shown, like you were saying, not so symmetrically cropped as well.
How's that?
Yeah, I actually think I like that more, where the lines closer to the camera are, level.
Yeah.
And you lose that as you go back, but that's okay, I think.
Yeah, I think because Sean's point was right, that, it is a symmetrical composition, but you're a little off on the right-hand side if you would have been over there. And I think that's what's helping look, that line that Tom had mentioned is looking a little out of perspective because where you were shooting it from. So when I know Jared had turned the bridge, but then it felt a little off to me when you had rotated it a little bit. So I like the initial one, but I think that perspective is off due to you weren't dead center on the bridge.
There's a lot of talk about detail here. Does this fit the definition of minimalism?
Well, that was going to be my next question, is what do people think of that? Like, do we feel like this is a minimalist image, or it would be great.
It's a very nice image.
Oh, it's really good. And I think that, our last show was symmetry, which this would have been perfect for.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know if it really fits into minimalism. I kind of feel,
I don't know
Like
that
it's
it
missing
doesn't.
the subject.
Yeah.
You don't have a subject, you know, you just got leading lines. You don't have a subject within it. If you had a subject within it with the dark composition, it probably could have worked as something like maybe a figure in the middle of the bridge, or the tree on the far end highlighted a little bit, like Dennis had said, you know, something to bring you to, you know, it seems to be missing that subject.
yeah, I think you're right, Tom. I think that if it's missing anything as far as it being minimalist in nature, that probably is it. And then you would just crop it in on either side to eliminate the distractions on the other side of the bridges. You know,
Yeah,
the other side of the
or
railings.
blur them out a little bit so they're not so as far as grabbing your eye.
Yeah.
Okay, but is
When I
that
look-
really the case? Because when you go for architectural minimalism, you really don't have a single subject. It's just the lines themselves. So I'm still struggling with that whole definition.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
no,
though,
it is a decent subject, that's for sure.
well, and in architectural minimalism, the
And that is
architecture
5
is the
minutes.
subject.
So isn't that the same here?
This one I think is a little bit tough to fit it from my perspective, my thought process. It'd be a little bit tough to fit it into the minimalism category. Because, you know, you can still see the parts beyond and to each side of the bridge. So I like the shot a lot. I think the little tweaking could be done, but yeah, it's kind of, it's a tough one for minimalism.
Well, and when you
Just to
think
let you know,
about
that's 5 minutes.
a lot of architectural, thank you, Scott. A lot of architectural minimalism doesn't have lines that lead you anywhere. It just is the lines in the architecture that is the subject, right? You're not being, typically speaking,
Right.
there's a good one coming up a little bit later, but it's not like this where it's like leading you deeply into the image and you're looking for a subject that isn't there. So I kind of agree with Tom with that, and that, you know, if you had something, you know, it might be able to squeeze into the minimalism thing. Right now, it's a very good symmetrical,
Yeah.
you know, but still very good.
Yeah.
Amanda, are you familiar with Michael Kenna, Kenna?
I've heard the name, but nothing
Yeah,
is
just
popping
go
into my head.
later on. Google him. He's kind of one of the stalwarts in the minimalistic photography world.
Mhm.
And when you see his stuff, you're going to get a real strong taste. And he does both landscape, he does architectural, but if you go look at his work, you're going to get a real good guide for what people have expectations for, and he's kind of set the genre for on minimalism. So I would, if you get a chance, take a look at his stuff.
Okay,
But
thank you.
good
Great
job,
job.
Amanda. Thank you for submitting your first time out and, you know, having the guts to do it. So
Good job.
Nice job, Amanda.
trust me, we all have, everybody on this call has one in here, and we're all going to get the same treatment. So that's why we do it.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not bothered by it.
Okay, good. All right, Jared, we're way past 5 minutes. So
So this next one's by Carol Martin. What does everybody think? I think first thing that I would look at, I like it. It is definitely got a nice subject. I think it definitely starting to get to the minimalism portion. The one thing that I recognize, maybe this little tree down here might be slightly a distraction, especially when we're trying to get rid of most of those. And I feel like we could clone that stuff out, especially when we have very light colors right here with the blue, like blues here. And I think that would help out a little bit.
I agree. It's exactly what I was gonna say.
I would lose the
Yeah.
color too.
I almost would like to try in black and white.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I would definitely do this in black and white.
Let's take a quick look at what that would look like. So just a quick transition. Obviously, you can mess with a lot of the tonal ranges with the black and white, but
Yeah, I agree. I would have taken the, now at least your trees in the bottom right-hand corner minimalized excuse the pun, from a distraction, but they are still distracting. So I would take those out. And I can't explain exactly why, but most of the minimalistic photos that I've seen have been done in black and white, not all of the architectural ones though. So I think this would be very interested in black and white, and I would ever so slightly vignette the corners just to keep my viewer's eye in the box here. But a good shot. Now, when you go to black and white, I think you're gonna have to pull the shadows up a little bit on the statue itself to make sure that you don't lose too much detail in him, but good composition.
I like that it's not directly centered either. I like that it's slightly off to the right a little bit too.
Yeah.
Kind of gets rid of that. And as Dennis was saying, like adding a little vignette, it kind of helps keep you on the subject, especially in Lightroom, because you have a lot of ability here. You can move your slider all the way down the feather so you can get where you want your roundness, how elongated you want it to be, your midpoint, you can extend it, you can even compress it more. So you can play with that a lot, and that'll help you figure out what's a good vignette. And then you can go ahead and use your slider tool here and create a nice soft vignette, or if you wanted to, you can make it a little bit darker contrast in the corners too. But I think the vignette would definitely help out too, for sure. I think you did a great job holding the highlights here, especially right where you're looking at the statue, where is this made of metal?
Yeah, it looks like
It looks like metal, which you can get some very strong reflections of light off of that, which can be very hard to control. And if I'm looking at your histogram here, it doesn't show it. There's some slight clipping in there, but overall, I think that you did a really good job controlling the light, especially off the statue itself.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. You know, she controlled, is she on here? She controlled the specular highlights very well.
Very, very well.
I don't think Carol's on.
Oh, well, Carol, when you watch this video, we love it.
Nope.
She'll be watching the video of this. She's not able to come in today.
Well, you know.
No, I think she did a great job. Nice composition and everything.
Agreed.
Nice work, Carol.
Any other comments for Carol? All right. Well, good job, Carol. We can't wait for you to watch this. So next up, we have Chris Morris. What does everybody think?
Cool.
I like it.
All right,
There
zoom
we
in
go.
a little bit.
Pretty cool.
Chris, I like it a lot. Now, in some of the top minimalist shots, right, they make strong use of negative space, which you're doing here, which we typically don't do in most of our photos, right? We try to reduce the negative space, but minimalism really uses negative space well. Now, I think, I'm trying to look at it on my screen, I think that's a vase of flowers down there, but it's really, I think it's part of the negative space, but I think I would have liked to at least be able to see that in the minimal, in your negative space here, a little lighter, because I can see it, it took me a few minutes. I could see there's something there, but I couldn't quite see that it was there. So I can't make up my mind whether I would have liked to have seen the vase removed, you know, physically removed before you took the shot from the shot, or brighten it up so I see. I think that's a vase of flowers, correct?
That's
It
right.
is, Dennis. Yes.
So I think you kind of caught me right in the middle here. I'd like to have it not be visible, or it is visible. You know,
Well, it's funny because I spent a lot of time lightening the dark space in order for you to realize there was something there.
And I think that's why you can see and you can attribute, because I know it's a lower resolution file here too, but like you can start to see some, looks like some color noise here from when you pulled your shadows and tried to
Yeah.
brighten here.
I did.
So that kind of can be a little bit distracting too, but that's just because you're kind of pushing your sliders.
I think I would have liked it better without the vase in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe it's just my computer screen, but to me, it's lightened to the point that the vase almost looks like it's painted on the wall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't actually look at that and think that it was a physical vase that was taking up some of that negative space. And
Okay.
I really enjoy the different shapes and the symmetry in the window image. And if the window weren't there, it would work really well as a minimalist image, in my opinion, with just the vase. But the two of them together, my eye isn't really sure which one it wants to go to.
Right.
Yeah. I think Amanda just hit it on the head. You almost have two minimalist subjects that are competing. Because I think that I really like the window shot. And I think if that wall was lighter, would really make this thing stand out a lot more. You know, I don't know what the original color of that wall was. If it was in the beige and the tan-ish, whitish type of arena, I think that window would look great. But I think, as Amanda just said, two subjects, and I was fighting initially of which one to look at. And
This was taken in Arizona in a Mexican restaurant. It was very dark in there and it was very bright outside. So the wall came out quite exposed for the light colors here.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that
I
would
lost.
be too. I definitely would have exposed for those bright colors, Chris, because that window is awesome placement in your photograph. With just the composition with that is beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I like how the sky actually has a little bit of white cirrus clouds in there too. It kind of adds a little bit more texture to it also, which I think really helps out everything, because that's where my eye goes to. And I see that it does distract me a little bit, but I think if you could clone this out, I think I would try to at least, and then see what it looks like. See if that was more where you were trying to focus on.
I like the tilt of the window, that it's not 100% square with the brown space.
Right. And I like the little light around, like on the edges of the window too, which draws your light. It just, I don't know. I like the picture without the vase.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the vase, but the thing about the vase is it causes confusion because you don't know what the real subject is. Even though you got the bright window, you're struggling to figure out what's hidden in the dark.
No, we don't want struggles.
And that's 5 minutes.
Sometimes struggles are good. They create tension in an image that can actually help it. So don't be afraid to have struggles or tension in your images.
Nice shot, Chris.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Thank you.
Shot.
Any other comments for Chris? All right. So we're gonna go next. Our next one is Deb Belanger. What does everybody think?
Love it. I like the composition and the color contrast is great.
Is that just a bit of selective color, Deb?
It is. I desaturated it just enough to give a hint of it, just to separate it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the contrast. And again, if I was just putting on if I was going from that 98 to 99%, I would have just put on a slight vignette. Post-crop vignette, and Lightroom does an outstanding job, even if you later on go and do it. And again, your boat is so bright, it's just going to help move you into it a little bit more. So great composition where you have it placed on one of the PowerPoints and a rule of thirds. And again, you were smart enough to have it be in the boat looking into the photo, which was good. It's on the right PowerPoint. If it was on the lower right one, it wouldn't compositionally be correct in my opinion, but great shot.
Yeah, and the rope as a leading line is a great choice as well.
Yeah, it's a very nice picture.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. So just a vignette.
Yeah.
Yes, again, I'm a big fan of Ansel Adams and a lot of his black and white work, and he always had a saying that the picture wasn't done until it was framed, and he wasn't talking about a physical frame. He always vignetted his work to keep his viewer's eyes, and you as a creator should control where the viewer looks. Right? As a photographer, you have the tools available to do that. So again, I think Jared might have moved a little vignette on this a second ago, but it really, in my mind, made it from that 95 to that 99%. It's a small tweak at the end, but I think they're extremely powerful, especially when you see them in print.
I literally put a vignette on almost all my photos. Basically just slightly darkening the corners. Sometimes it's 5%, in other photos that's even higher, but it just definitely helps kind of keep you in there, because sometimes, especially if you're photographing skies, you get really hot spots in the corners potentially. So
yeah, you'd be amazed how much you can change a particular photo with a vignette and some dodging and burning. Really just change the whole lighting effects of the photo. Where the boat is so bright here, it was kind of nice now with the vignette on there that just to kind of keep you on the boat, which is obviously your main subject. And then the rope with the diagonal leading line is pretty strong too.
Yeah, I really don't see too much here for distractions either. I think it's really well done.
I think this is much, I think it's much better in black and white than if it was in color.
Oh, by far, yes.
Does the detail in the water, though, take away from the minimalism?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, because I think.
What if you took a little bit of clarity out of the picture? It would tone down that texture in the water, and it would kind of help sharpen actually the boat too.
And that's not really negative space at this point, because it's got too much going on in it.
Well, I think it is negative space because there's really no points of interest. It's pretty uniform all the way through here. And as you go further in the image, you get more ripples because of the depth. So I think that is a good use of negative space. It may not be a flat background, because I don't think negative space has to be necessarily flat.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Great shot, Deb. Do you own any neutral density filters?
I do, and unfortunately, I did not use it on this shot.
Because, as they're talking about the negative space, obviously, right, if you put a couple of neutral densities on this and brought it out to a minute exposure, that water would have really smoothened out. It would have strengthened your reflection below it, and then your boat would have just popped out of it, right? That would, it's a different type of photo, but that would have, I don't know if I would have liked it, but it would be a very interesting photo.
One thing to be careful with, though, if you do that, make sure that you have your boat sharp, because especially with neutral density folders or the filters, you can see these slight ripples in the water. It's going to slightly move this bow here and your rope up and down slightly. So it may end up requiring 2 shots if you did something like that.
Oh, because of the time on it. Yeah.
Because of the time on it. So it's difficult, but you can definitely do it. Like Dennis was saying, but it may require multiple shots.
That's 5 minutes.
Great shot.
Nice work, Deb.
I love this.
Good job, Scott.
Any other last comments for Deb's first photo? Okay. So we're gonna go to Deb's second photo.
Oh no, I was only.
No, this is different.
Sorry, Deb. Oh, Deb Manning now. Sorry,
Yeah.
two here. So I thought this was the second.
That's not mine.
Okay, so sorry, the other Deb Manning. This one is yours. I thought it was the other one. So, but what does everybody think of this?
Love it.
I think it's
excellent.
Cool. I like it. Can you rotate it just a little bit? It looks almost like the stairs aren't level.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're going to have a little trouble with that, because I think it all of the stairs are not level, but that's more of a perspective problem. Deb, do you have a copy of the Nick filters?
Do I have a what?
Copy of do you use the Nick filters, N-I-K?
Oh,
Anyway, you could have done this in Photoshop too. You could have stretched the top left-hand corner to straighten that out, but Nick filters now have a new perspective filter that will take these types of cases, because I agree, I missed who made the original comment. The stairs at the top don't look level, but the second one from the bottom does, right? So it's, to me, is more of a perspective. So the top left-hand corner needs to be brought up a little higher in Photoshop under a transform, just to stretch it up a little. But besides that, I think is a great shot. Love the simplicity of it.
Yep.
this was not what I was going for. This afternoon. There was a light at the top of the stairs, and I was getting rained on. And I wanted the lamp at the bottom of at the top of the stairs at the bottom, but there were trees. And I said, wonder what this will look like cropped down. So that's quite a bit cropped. And then I kind of liked it. I tried to straighten the bottom one. I didn't notice, so much the top, but I struggled with minimalism. I can tell you, I really struggled.
Me and you both.
Yeah.
It's a very, very interesting subject. And you'll see when we get to ours, you don't have to shoot a minimalistic, I will create some of my minimalistic shots by removing objects, but it's an interesting genre.
Yeah, I just, all week and Jared and I would, had something in mind, but it didn't quite work out. And then I'm going, oh my God, I got to do something. So I knew these stairs. My husband had told me about these stairs in Portsmouth. So I went down. I had phony flowers with me because I was going to put them on the stairs. And then I saw the light at the top, at the street light with just the bulb. But then there was the railing and tree at the top and another lights on the side. And I said, no, that's not. So like I said, this is pretty well cropped down from the first, but not much. I didn't do much tweaking to it at all.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good.
Thank
you. What do you think, Sean? You always ask other people. It's your turn.
It's true. I'd like to see it flipped, actually.
All right.
Interesting.
Upside down or like horizontally?
Oh, left to right.
Oh, horizontally. Yeah, get that line running left to right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I like that better.
I think that's got a little bit more impact.
Yeah, I would say that is a more powerful shot for us Westerners.
I don't think you noticed the stairs being off as much on this one.
You're right, but
it looks like it kind of straightened up the top of the stairs.
It does.
Flipping it around.
Effectively, yeah.
I think
very, very, very interesting. This shot feels like it's ascending. When it was flipped the other way, it felt like it was descending.
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
yeah.
Because you're reading it from left to right, so you're following that white line down, and here you're following it up. Just the way you would normally read it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I said it's a stronger photo to us Westerners.
Yeah, I think I like it better flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to flip it and see how it takes a printing.
Yes. Good shot.
I mean, little things that I would just see if you can try to minimize some of like the little stuff here where you have slight differences in colors, and see if you could try to blend some of this in to make it all like that. Because these little black spots I think could be distracting, especially for the minimalism that we're looking for. Like this little leaf here, things like that.
That was dirt.
Good.
There were no leaves on. I don't think there were any leaves on the steps that I saw.
And there seems to be one stair right smack in the middle that's a lighter color than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's the way
was
the
that
light's
way.
hitting it. Yeah.
That's under the camera.
But that's easy. That's easy to just burn down. You know, you can get it so that it matches.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even leaving it like that where it looks like it's right in the middle. I mean, even if it's there, it sort of helps draw the eye towards the middle of the staircase, but.
Is it a landing? Is that a landing? Because
It may be. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think
It is. I know exactly where this is. That's the landing. Yeah.
that's the landing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
And
just
that's
play
5
with, like,
minutes.
stuff. So things like this, little radial filters that you can make a color.
Nice shot, Deb.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jared too. If you can go through here and clean up some of these, I mean, on the steps, and then this little plastic box out on the walls that are breaking up the patterns of the bricks and stuff. I mean, that's Photoshop work, probably not Lightroom, but.
I mean, you could do some of it with you could do some minor tweaks, like these little things you could remove, but like, cause right here, before and after, you can get rid of some of this little stuff, and you just gotta spend a little time cleaning up the small things. But I think it was a good shot. I like it a lot.
I think it's very cool.
Great shot.
Nice work. All right.
All right, so we'll go to the next one. Got Mr. Rainville.
Oh,
I love
There we
that.
go.
It's okay.
That's minimalism.
This looks cold.
Too early.
Either that or some very clean sand.
Lots of clone work.
I'm cold looking at this picture.
When it was in the thumbnail, I thought it was just sand.
This is snow.
Yeah.
The simplicity of it is just beautiful.
But Dennis, when did it snow in the last month?
This was this was in 2020, and this was up at Bug Light in Maine. We were doing the lighthouses, and we were freezing our butts off. And as we were walking back to the car, I turned around, and they're actually to the right of the Bug Lighthouse, standing in the parking lot. This was right in front of us, but there was 3 benches. Obviously, 2 of them I removed, and then I flipped this. It was facing the other way, and it felt a little bit more comfortable to me this way. But if you go and look at Michael, like I said, Michael Kenner is one of the main guys. His type of work, this is the type of work that he tends to specialize in. Whether he finds the open field with the single tree or he removes a couple of, I don't know, but this is a very Michael Kenner-ish type of shot.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really have any constructive criticism, but I love it.
I want, Jared, prop it up above the snowbank line.
Yeah.
I mean, for minimalism at least.
Right here.
Just eliminate that.
Yeah, I like that better. Yeah. Wow.
Well,
I like that a lot better. Good call, Sean. That's
What
one
if
thing
you
I found
just-
interesting in the links that
Oh no, I liked it. I liked it that long. To me, I like the long just go straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, and just really,
yeah.
just having all of that extra space, sky, and all of that just really isolates that bench
Yeah. That
for
looks-
minimalism. You know.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Beautiful. Love the total range too. You got a lot of really good tones here with the darker bench, and then very white snow, not flipped. Well, even if it is, I think it's in minimal spots, and this sky texture I think really keeps you too.
Hey, Dennis, did you do a reverse vignette on this one? Did you do a white one? Because the edges look a little bit white.
I was exactly, Scott. I was playing around with that. I did a little bit more of a lighter vignette on this. I just, post-crop vignette, if you pull it in the opposite direction. I was trying to play with that. I've been doing a couple more with some more of the white vignette because I think the darker colors still, the bench specifically is strong enough to hold me in the middle and that cloud structure above it. So yes, I was playing with this with a little lighter touch, being winter.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a whiter image, so that pushed you into it more. That's
Right.
sort of the same thing as a darker image with a dark vignette.
Right. Because a vignette, whether it's light or dark, can still work, right? It keeps you towards the darker colors, where usually a darker vignette, like on Deb's boat earlier, kept you more towards the lighter colors. So I've been playing a little bit with that. Does it work?
I like it.
It's subtle. I do think it works.
Yeah. Good.
I think the only cloud I don't like is this one that creates this really gray line right here.
Yeah.
I almost thought if you clone that out, keep it kind of a more of a gray straight up into the clouds. I don't know if that would make a difference, but I love the whole thing on this. That's the only thing
Yeah, that would take a distraction out. You're right.
But I like the rest of the clouds because I think they're really, because they keep swirling in the sky to bring you kind of keep you in the image too, so you're not getting completely lost out.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think the choice of black and white and the choice of flipping it were both very good choices.
Yeah, it's just the sky was very light blue, so that didn't work. And then having the bench look the other way, this felt more comfortable to me. Like when you had that staircase flipped over the other on Deb's, the other Deb's, it really does make a difference because all of a sudden Deb's picture, when we flipped it, was ascending, like I said. And this one here makes me feel a little bit more comfortable looking left to right.
Oh, yeah. This way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like
It's off balance.
It
looks like the whole picture's going like this.
Yeah, it's funny because you're just flipping the picture, you're not changing it, but it really does change the viewer's outlook on the picture.
It feels more like walking towards it, having it flipped.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's more inviting this way. Like there's a certain calm to it this way.
Yeah.
Whereas there's a certain tension to it the other way.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that the emotion you're trying to emote here is calmness. And so, no, it's a really good choice to flip it, I think.
5 minutes.
Excellent job, Dennis, as always.
Well Thank you. Dennis.
Any last comments, Dennis?
The other thing I thought you could do on this is soften the line of the snowdrift and then actually crop out the top of the skyline.
Yeah, because I liked when we just played with the crop, but I was going back and forth because I thought the drift line here helped the viewer understand more that it was snow. Because I think when somebody looked at this initially, they said they thought it might have been in sand, right? This could have been a very bleached look at a beach scene, but I thought the drift lines helped define it a little bit more as snow. So I got to play around with that. But thanks for the input.
You might be right, Dennis. I would argue that to me, for the image, it doesn't matter if it's snow or sand.
Exactly. You're going for that minimalist.
Right?
Yeah.
Either way, it's bleached out and it's white. And I think that the way that it wraps around the base of the bench, that you can see that the snow sort of wraps around it, whereas sand doesn't really do that. Yeah, I don't think you lose that at all. I think it still looks like snow to me.
Yeah. All right, good. Thanks for the input.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
All right. And next up, we have Gordon. What does everybody think?
Minimalist, I like it.
Yeah, the layers of the colors are beautiful.
Is that a time exposure, Gordon?
2 seconds just to soften the water.
Yeah.
The only thing I see is probably to the left, that dark spot.
Yeah.
That sort of dragged my eyes when you first brought it up. Maybe the intent was to do that, but maybe soften that up a little bit so it blends in with the lighter water.
Okay.
It just seems just a harsh bit dark.
There's probably a dog on the beach just before, so.
Do what?
Never mind.
I love the tonal range in this. I love this diagonal that goes all the way through. I think that's beautiful. Everything like that. And again, my nitpicky thing, I think we just need to make sure your sensor's clean. So some dust spots here that I see. I would just go through and clean those up. But I like this, really like this a lot. The colors are beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. It's a great shot, Gordon. It just the color scheme is different, but I really like it. And I really do like the softness. Like I said, there was a couple second shot because it really did well with your water as smoothing it out a little bit more than.
So Gordon, was that California?
It's Virginia.
Virginia, okay.
Yeah. Assateague Island.
Is there a lot of sky there? Can we try with less sky? I love the beach and the water. I was just wondering if maybe too much sky.
Wondering if we drop the horizon down to a third line.
Mm.
If that makes a difference.
It looks like a painting.
Beautiful texture in the sand, colors.
I'm not sure whether I like the sky reduced, just because minimalistic shots tend to take advantage
of the negative
more of,
space, right?
Yeah, take advantage of the negative space.
Mm-hmm. I like it too because I think there's a lot of different negative space in here too. I mean, each zone has like really, it's almost all 3 different forms of negative space in there.
Yeah,
I like it. It's just very simple, very elegant,
very ethereal.
This is.
I think this would look really good as a print.
I do.
After it got cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I like it. There's very strong lines in this, and that's what I think where the intention was, because it goes back and forth. So I love it, Gordon. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And the use of color is what everyone talked about for minimalism as one way to do it. And that's what I see in this one, the lines and the color.
Yeah, it was a great morning walk.
But
not too many people on the beach. Excuse me?
Is this before sunrise, like blue hour kind of thing?
Yes, it was it was before the sun hit the horizon.
I love the hues you get when you shoot at that hour. You can get some very deep blues, some very good oranges and reds. So that's what it looked like to me. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Do you have any other comments for Gordon?
Did you try it in black and white?
Even think about black and white. I like the colors. Flip it.
I think left to right looks good that way.
Yeah, colors are better.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the colors better.
Love the colors.
Once you went to the black and white, it lost too much context.
Yes.
You can tell it was going just look like an abstract.
Yeah.
I think if you want not black and white, you have to mess with the tonal ranges, and I think that right now the color is where we're at.
That's 5 minutes.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
So let's go to the next one. We're gonna skip 8 because that's older one. So we'll go this. This is my photograph. What does everybody think?
I know what that is.
That's in Rollinsford. I know where that is. I was there on Sunday trying to capture something.
It's actually not Rollinsford.
No?
Different tree.
Oh my gosh, it looks
Oh,
just
that's
like it.
that's out
I
on
know
Pickering
where
Road.
it is.
Yes, it is. Scott
That's
got it.
Pickering Road. That's the other tree.
Yeah.
Scott knows where it is.
All right, Jared, you're safe. I don't know where it is.
It's in Rochester, just over the Dover-Rochester line on Pickering.
Yeah.
I almost like that one better.
Yeah, great shot, good minimalistic shot. I like the texture in the grass along with the tree. And again, just as a finishing touch on this, I would hit it with a little bit of a vignette too, right? Because I think that would lock us down onto the tree. I don't know if if this is the full frame or you crop this in, because these type of shots actually get a little stronger when you put a little bit more negative space. If you had more of the sky area around it and all. And
Well, there's definitely more sky. I have actually probably another few inches on the top here. You could add for
yeah, so I think if at the end of the day, the tree was slightly smaller, may have a little bit more impact, but if you don't have the shot, you don't have the shot. But I would definitely add a slight vignette to this one too, to keep me in on the tree.
Did you take that from across the street?
I actually parked on the side of the road and then walked up so I could have this hill block kind of the base.
Yeah, but was it on the other side of the street that you took it?
No, actually it was on the same side of the road.
Because, I can't get a hold of those people.
Mm-hmm. No, I parked right on the side of the road and didn't go. I just shot basically from the street.
Yeah, because I know we were trying to get permission, but I don't know. I kept going up. There was nobody there. The cat was at the house, so I don't know if they're on vacation. Huh?
There was no one there the other day either.
Yeah.
I stopped in too.
Did you stop at Parcells Farm? Is that where you went?
Yeah. I've spoken with them a few times. I've actually given them a print before because they let me shoot on their property in the past.
Yeah, they have a tree there too.
Mm-hmm.
That has rocks around the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's a little bit further up on the curve. I like that one.
Yeah.
At least you got it before they put up the orange fence.
Yeah, they're starting to put them up over in my area, in different areas. So
very nice. That's a tough place to shoot because you have to look out for the dump in the background. You have to look out for there's a whole bunch of distracting stuff in the background there.
Yeah, great shot.
I kept getting lower. I was trying to keep separation from the branches, but it didn't quite work out. I was hoping to be higher, but then there would have been a lot of trees and stuff like you were saying, Scott.
Yeah, but the leaves being down, the branches being down close to the horizon there on the hill doesn't look bad at all. I like it.
Thank you.
Was it a blue sky or was it just overcast?
It was actually this is right before sunrise. You could still see the Venus aurora, which is the shadow of the Earth right here. So it's all pink right here with like blue all the way up, or not blue, but like the transition from darker blues to light blues up top. I actually really like it in color too, but to keep it more minimalistic, I got rid of all the color from it.
So you said there was like 2 inches on the top of it still. So like, what if you brought the bottom up so there was like maybe about 2 inches of grass and then more sky? I feel like then I'd feel more minimalist, I guess. Okay. I feel like right now the tree's taking up too much of the frame. So it doesn't feel that seclusion, that depth of space too from it. And I feel like that would help it maybe. I'm not sure, but
no, I have a lot more. So I basically cropped down
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get rid of, it was a lot of sky. It extends up much higher. So, and that's what I was kind of going for, but I wanted to see what it looked like with a little bit less sky, but I can definitely go up from here.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. That was my real
I'd almost
point.
go
where I said-
up and almost get rid of some of the grass. You know, that was one thing I liked about not you, Jared. It was can't remember who shared it. It was one of the videos, and I really liked it because he expressed like taking, not putting it close to thirds or anything, your focal point, but taking it out of. It's like an abstract form of your typical rules don't really apply.
Right.
That's 5 minutes.
I just, if I can just butt in for 1 second, because I was also thinking the same thing as Tom, but if you flip the picture also, and now take your left side and cut into the tree, I didn't know if that would make the tree stand out more.
Ooh.
So,
You mean,
Increase the sky, cut
I
off some
almost
of the
feel like
grass,
the tree's
just bring
looking
it
now
into the
into
edge.
frame instead of out of frame.
Yeah.
oh, there's a face in that
Yeah,
tree.
there is a face.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
where's the face? I don't see it.
I'm pointing to it. You can't see me.
I want to
pointing.
stop.
No, if you look at it now, you
yeah,
got the
here.
nose.
Now I see it. There's the
And
mouth.
it's like the bottom part that's touching the ground here looks like a beard.
It's a little
It's Abe
hairdo.
Lincoln.
If it's the hair on top.
Okay, never saw that before. Never gonna unsee it now.
Yeah, now you will not stop seeing it.
All right, now I see a face.
I mean,
Hey,
you
Jared,
have
could you
a little
reduce
mouth
some of
in
the
there.
texture in the grass?
I could, yeah.
Because it seems like there's just too much detail there, but you don't want to lose the detail in the tree, just on the grass.
Yeah, I would just do something long
Almost tonal, yeah.
and then just drop some clarity or drop some texture. You could go in Photoshop. I could do some blurring just to kind of get it blurred out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps it a little bit.
Mhm.
And you know, Jared, if you wanted to make the tree smaller, as Tom was saying, and I was leaning on earlier too, you take this into Photoshop and with content aware fill, you can fill in a lot of both the hillside and the sky quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. You could do that too. So
Yeah.
thank you. We got other photos to look at, and I don't like looking at mine all that often and talking about them. So we're gonna move to the next one.
Oh,
We got Lisa up next.
Cool.
Oh,
You know what that
nice.
one is
Very
too.
cool.
where's that one?
I'm a
That's
sucker
beautiful.
for panoramas, so I already like it.
It's Provincetown.
Provincetown.
I haven't been down there yet.
Wow.
is
And
that
after the
Beaver-
discussion, now I'm wondering if there's too many buildings on it for minimalism.
that Beaver Light?
Oh, I don't know the name of it. It was on the way out of Provincetown. We were on a boat.
I think it's Race Point.
Nah, oh, I don't know. It might be. Yeah, I know we were on the boat leaving Provincetown.
Oh, Provincetown. That's not, that's, I don't think that's Race Point Lighthouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, Lisa, I agree with your earlier comment. I like the shot a real lot. As a minimalistic shot, I'm trying to figure out whether that other building
Takes away from it. After the
takes away
discussion.
from it.
The
Yeah.
building and the
I did
cross,
crop it
yeah.
out and I cropped it out and I didn't like it, so I left it in.
No, because the panoramic works really well with it.
Yeah.
So
I
you
almost
have to-
feel
you
like
have to clone it if you're gonna take it out.
What,
So
Sean?
I think you would have to clone it if you're gonna take it out, because the panorama or the panoramic feel and the look of it works really well.
Yeah.
Balance.
So if you're going to remove that building, you can't crop it. You would have to either go back and reshoot it
Right.
or
yeah,
clone it out.
Yeah. You should be able to clone that out pretty easily, because I think if you did, then again, in the minimalistic category, this would be a great shot. And I might, is that like a, what's on the middle of that mound? Is that a
It's an
tower
American
that-
flag, and I
It's
don't
a
know,
cross.
it looks like a cross with an
Yeah,
American
it's like
flag. on
a
it.
grave site or
Yeah.
a memorial or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I might remove those two items if, you know, now that I'm not there and I can't rearrange myself, but I'm going to come back and process it. That's like the one that I showed you of mine. There was 3 benches there. I took 2 of them out because I didn't want it. I wanted it to be a minimalistic shot, but I would take those 2 out because I think it's a great shot with just the lighthouse.
I love square crops. Could you crop that square and then just turn it black and white? Just with the lighthouse in the very center.
Very center.
Yeah, now turn it black and white.
Not quite center,
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's a, I don't know. I kind of like it.
You have to work out the weight because of the horizon.
Well, it's
Yeah.
interesting because I like the way that the shadow and light on the building works exactly opposite as the shadow and light on, you know, the sky and the water. I like that. It's an interesting sort of take on it.
Lisa, I think it looks like a William Hopper painting.
A who?
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 William Hopper.
Yeah.
No.
He's an artist, and if you have the whole picture with the small building on the other side, it looks very much like his style. Peter has a comment too.
Wood End Lighthouse is the name of it. It's in Provincetown, but it's called Wood End Lighthouse.
Wood End?
Wood End, two separate words.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when I was thinking of Beavertown, Beaver Lighthouse, I was thinking of Newport, Rhode Island. Sorry.
Yeah, Scott, I think I kind of like this is more of a 3x1 type of format with it, especially where the lighthouse is. Now, but I would remove that flag and I'd remove that building.
Yeah.
Jared, can you just put it in black and white here?
Yeah, I like that. I would
like that too.
contrast a bit.
Yeah.
Give me some more contrast.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it in black and white.
Yeah, it would need more contrast, or, you know, I would light paint certain areas if need be. But
who's got the screen? Is that Jared?
That's
Yeah.
me.
Jared, hit L a couple of times on your keyboard. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think with those 2 distractions, Lisa, on the right-hand side there, that's very powerful.
That one bump in the horizon kind of bothers me. My eye keeps going there. I don't know what it is. It's because it's
this one.
No, way over to the left.
Over to the left.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
because
tower looks
sticking
like
out.
a tower.
Yeah, there's like a water tower or
Right,
something there.
That one little
Yeah.
water tower or whatever it is.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
3.
It looks like an airport.
Something, it keeps getting me overlooking over there. I don't know if it's drawing my eye through the photo or helping that, but it kind of distracts me.
No, I would agree with you. And those are very easy to clone out. Those
Yeah.
things there, because it does.
Yeah.
It drew my eye in too, because that was something I was going to make a comment on. Was kind of these hillsides. I like these little islands or the landmass behind it, which I believe is the cape running back around.
It is, yeah.
So like I would just get rid of these because I love this composition. I'm a big sucker for panoramas, especially the 3x1s. And
Yeah.
I honestly agree. I think black and white, if you go and make some adjustments.
Black and white, definitely.
Contrast.
Yeah, I said I didn't even consider it in black and white, but I like black and white.
Well, I like the tower in black and white because it really brings out the contrast of the sun hitting the windows and then the side being darker.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it nicer.
That's
All right,
fine.
I'll work on those 2, because I said I cropped it down and got rid of the 2 of them and I didn't like it.
No, I think it's got to be the 3x1 here. And
Yeah.
great shot. And I think you have some real good bones here for a great minimalistic shot.
Okay, thank you.
Great shot, Lisa.
Thank
Nice
you.
work, Lisa.
Yes.
All right, any last comments for Lisa?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we got Mike Erickson. What
Ooh,
we got for Mike?
Oh,
nice.
Oh, it's a sewing machine. It's a
yeah,
needle.
see the needle.
Oh,
I've been trying to figure it out for the longest time because I seen it down here in the queue and I'm like, what is this?
it is. That's the needle for the sewing machine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works on the minimalist theme, but
Oh, I think it does.
I think it
Oh, it
does,
does,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it does too.
Absolutely.
I would.
think, you're able to isolate it using depth of field, and so all of that out of focus area is all just negative space in the end. So it works really well actually for minimalism, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does work. Were you focusing on the tip of the needle, Mike?
yeah, I was trying to get the eye of the needle.
Yeah.
It looks like your focus is right here.
Yeah, you just missed it.
You just
Yeah.
missed it. And this is, you set this up, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would actually try and reshoot it and just try a little and just keep messing with the like manual focus to get right here because I think this is your sharp area and you're not far off because this is pretty sharp, but you can definitely see that your sharpest area is right here. But this is really unique. I like this.
Yeah, I like it a lot too, Mike. I would try to move my position so I can see the tip of the needle off of that darker area, those 3 dark areas. I'm not sure what they are, but I'd love to see the tip of the needle in a white area.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing.
And
Yeah, I would
if you
even
had
just
that,
put down
yeah.
a piece of white fabric or something.
Yeah, and if you had the tip of the needle, if you really did put your a single point, focus point on the tip of the needle, but I'd love to see the tip of that needle. And I'm okay with the background elements, the depth of field having them out of focus, but I really want to see the tip of that needle.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I even like the fact that you have the change in like the colors back here too. Right? I think that works out well for you. And just somewhere right here, and that's just position yourself slightly to the right or the left, like just slightly move in the one direction. I think that would significantly increase that.
Or you could move the needle up just a smidge to get in all of the white.
Or lower your shot, lower yourself.
That too.
Yep. Move your feet.
Move your feet. Tell them.
Some of you know what that means.
Great shot. It generated a lot of discussion.
I like the
Very
position
nice.
of the needle hold or this whole piece right here too. I just like this the curve to it. This is gorgeous. I like this a lot.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Well done, Mike.
Well
Yes.
done.
Very nice.
So Jared, I think you skipped one.
Yeah, I skipped this one here.
Number 8, yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. We're not going to look at that one. I
Okay, okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. That one wasn't in the challenge period anyways, so I cheated.
Oh, okay. Just looking at the little tiny thumbnail at the bottom of my screen, it's like, oh, that one looks intriguing. Why didn't we see it? Sorry, ignore me.
If we have time, I can show it, but I was trying to make sure we get everybody's in a reasonable time tonight.
Gotcha. I didn't know it was a double. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. Nope. Do we have any other comments from Mike?
No, I'd love to see the edited one or a redo of that one.
I definitely want to see the
Yeah,
next step in that.
definitely.
Okay.
All right. Great job, Mike. I love it. Very conversational starting piece here. So we
Yep.
look forward to seeing the next one.
Very cool.
Right.
Thank you.
So next we have Nikki French. What does everybody think?
Oh,
Wow.
Nikki.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Gorgeous.
absolutely.
I waited about 3 hours for this.
Hey, worth it.
Worth it, absolutely.
Yeah, I think your use of the negative space is perfect. I think if you would have cropped in any closer, would not have the amount of drama that this one does.
Yep.
So, yeah, great shot.
Where was this taken, Nikki?
This is Lake Francis up in Pittsburgh.
Thought so.
It was the Thursday before Columbus Day. Wednesday night, I said to my husband, I'm gonna miss peak and I'm not going up during the weekend. So I booked myself a campsite here, slept in the back of my car, got up in the morning at sunrise, but it takes an hour for the sun to get above the trees.
Yeah.
And then just kept taking pictures as the fog was burning off. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was worth it.
I've shot this exact same point before on Francis. Very gorgeous, but I missed peak. So I'm looking at it going, is that Lake Francis? Because I thought it was the entire time. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it was a perfect day. It was I couldn't have asked for better weather. I had planned in my head I was going to see the fog in the morning. Had no idea how long it was going to burn off. I didn't realize it was going to take an hour for the sun to get above the trees before it started burning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have all kinds of shots. This is the first one I've had a chance to play with.
Very nice.
Yeah, well done.
Your color space is beautiful.
Thank you.
I like just a little bit of blue up there in the sky.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so faint, but it just keeps you in the image too. I love it.
Yeah, the more you look at it, you can start to see reflections of the trees in the lake as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right in here. Yep.
I didn't notice that when I first looked at it, but the more you look, more detail comes out.
I think the hot pot's going to be picking a frame for it without disturbing what's already there.
Canvas.
Yeah, I was thinking I haven't printed on metal yet, and I was thinking that this may be the one.
This could be it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, this would show really well on metal.
Yeah, I have nothing negative to say about or anything like other than wow.
This is gorgeous.
Can't find anything to critique on it. It looks beautiful.
And I did this one in HDR, so I had 5 shots to work with.
Nice.
I don't think it would have looked as well in any other season either.
No.
Maybe winter with a snow cover. And you can almost do a black and white at that point in time.
Yeah, but then you have a frozen lake to deal with too.
Yeah, and bare trees.
You wouldn't get this much fog either because then
Yeah.
you wouldn't be getting so much here. If you shot it early winter with a snowstorm, you might get it. But
Or late.
or
Or
very
spring.
late.
Very nice, Nikki.
What
Thank you.
lens do you use?
And the other thing is I was down on the water edge because the campsites are above the lake. There's a banking you can go down, and so it went down onto the edge of the lake so that I would be more eye level.
Well,
What'd you use for a lens, Nikki?
I'm sorry.
Would you use for a lens?
I had my 72-40 on. That I tend to shoot with that one a lot. It just gives me a good range on, and not having to switch all the time.
Very nice.
Wow. I don't want to stop looking at this image, but do we have any other comments for Nikki other than this is a bit beautiful in every single way?
Thank you. Wait till you see the other ones. I'm gonna start playing with those. So
I look forward to it. I bet they're gonna be great. Okay.
And that
Great
just
job,
happens to be
Nikki.
5 minutes.
Awesome job, Nikki.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Pat Watts. What does everybody think?
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Never
Nice,
seen
Pat.
that.
Yeah, where is
Where
this?
that is.
That's all.
Okay.
That's
Oh, I
Alton
know, I'm
Bay.
joking.
Alton Bay,
yeah.
yep.
Bay.
Within just a few minutes, the fog turned from a light fog to a really, really dark, moody, with the light shining on the dock. And then the sky turned blue and a line above it. It was really odd. And it was just, I got about 10 or 15 pictures and that's it.
Well, I don't think you need it anymore.
No.
Excellent job.
Nicely
No.
done.
As a minimalist shot, I think your subject, your use of the negative space, I don't think you could have done a better job. It's outstanding.
And this is a very tough spot to potentially get a minimalist spot because it's a very busy part of the lake. So
Right.
I really
But it's funny, I thought of this spot. I actually thought of this spot. I was like, if anything, like that's the place to go and capture that subject out there. But you needed that fog. You had to time it perfect. You know, you did really well, Pat, on that.
Thank you. We were driving by and I just said, pull over, and that was that.
That's sometimes how it works.
Yeah.
So
Um,
Pam, where are you standing?
What? There's a parking lot. I jumped out of the car, I grabbed my camera, and it was gone in a few minutes.
Right down by the town docks when you get into Alton when you're going around on Route 11. There should be a little parking lot. There's a couple of town docks where they pick up, or people can park their boats for the restaurant and stuff. And then they also have
There's a ton of parking.
Yeah.
Lots of public. It's all public parking, so you can go right in there.
I didn't do any touching up on the fog or anything, but the reflections were really sharp, and everything else was foggy. And I don't know how I lucked out with that, because I don't think it would have worked if it was 5 feet away from that.
That's stunning.
In the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great shot.
Thank
And I
you.
think the reflections make it too. They definitely add to it.
Yeah.
Gives that nice little ripple feeling with just a slight ripple of the water.
And it also showed me that even though I cleaned my camera the day before, I had a lot of dust on the left that I cropped out.
Oh,
I could see every little speck.
That's
This
what's downfall with changing your lenses. You always got to clean your lens and you got to clean your sensor. So gets the best of us all the time.
Yeah.
Pat, this is just stunning. The lighting on that little house on the water and the reflection. It's beautiful.
Just for the fun of it, what would it look like in black and white?
We can do that.
This is nice.
I like this too. I like the pop of warmth you're getting off of the gazebo though when it's in color.
yeah. I like the color
I like
better.
either. It's nice.
Right. So like the rest of it's pretty
That beige.
monotone anyways, and then you get this like really warm hit of light right off the front of
Yeah.
it. It's really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Even just the color change here in the water. You get the almost a faded blue going in, and then grays, and then the warmth, like Sean was saying.
It is. I cropped a little bit on the bottom, and the bottom was blue because above the fog was blue sky.
You don't have to take it.
Right. And I think just having a little bit here is darker than here, which kind of helps bring you back into the image. It doesn't kind of distract you very much. If it was too blue, then I think it would be something you'd want to darken down. But I think you really have to do very well.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Just maybe the one sailboat over on the right-hand side, it almost competes. Yeah, if you just,
This right here.
Yeah. Just the one line right there. It's almost like mimicking, it's competing with the flagpole, I think, just a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you could go ahead and just clone that one piece out, and that would, I think, yeah. Oh, very good job, Pat.
Yeah, nice job, Pat.
Nice job.
Nice job.
And Pat, did you put a black stroke around that?
I did. Sean
Great
talked
cut.
about that. Is that
Yeah.
good? Okay.
Very good. Yeah, I usually when I do a lot of my black and whites, I've been in the habit now of putting a black stroke around them, and it really does just help them pop a little bit more, but it looks fabulous.
I did that. I did just a hint of a vignette, almost nothing. And then and I took out the dust and just cropped it to adjust the I didn't have it exactly level, but it was pretty close. That's all that I did. I didn't adjust any lighting.
Yeah, no, you knocked it out of the park on this one.
That just means you shot it right in camera, Pat, which is what we always try to go for the first time. The least we have to do in post-production, the better.
Well, it worked for me. I didn't have to work hard.
Well done. Very, very well done.
Well done. That's 5 minutes.
Excellent. Do we have any other last comments for Pat?
Awesome shot.
Thank you.
All right. So next up, we got Peter Morse. All right. Anyone got comments?
I like that, Peter.
Yeah, those triangles are fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah, that's spectacular.
I like the texture on them.
Yeah, I agree. As an architectural minimalist shot, very well done.
Just the one little branch in the left.
I was just going to say that one little hair or whatever it is.
that's my only thing that I had as a comment. So
I just crop it.
I wouldn't crop too tight. I'd just clone it.
Yeah,
That's works.
I would clone it
Not
too.
bad.
I think that still works.
I mean, it's still here, but you could either clone it or slightly crop in. But I think just cloning it out would be very simple. That was my only thing that I saw that really caught the eye. Other than this triangle being the dark spot. Usually, people like to travel to the light spots in the picture. You're going right to here. Keep going. I love that.
That's a great highlight, running right along every edge.
Yep.
Yep.
And that shadow in the middle is really nicely done.
Because there's still detail you can see in the shadow. There's a little bit of tonal range changes, so it's not just pure black. And it's well done.
Well, thanks. This was taken in out in Arizona in 2019, and I was still using my spray and pray method.
Well, the spray and pray worked this time for sure.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, every once in a while it does. I'm working towards doing more with composition now, but I didn't know what minimalism was when I took the picture, to be honest with you. Looking at the information that was posted on our website with that Pat volunteered to share with everybody, gave me a better sense of it. So I started looking through some of my old pictures and thought this would work. But I was determined on Monday to go out and find something. Chris and I spent 6 hours in the car looking for a minimalist scene, and I just couldn't find one better than this. So we came home with this. But so thank you. It was a lucky shot, but I now understand why it's got value.
Yeah. Minimalist shots are not easy to find.
And sometimes you just need the right conditions to make it that way. And here this is beautiful.
This is also a great example of why it's worth going out even when it's like full sun.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is not late in the day or early, but it's not too far off of noon. It's a little, the sun's not that low in the sky. It's Probably 3 in the afternoon or something.
This real
Yeah.
sharp line here. Yep.
Yeah, there's not. You can tell there's not a cloud in the sky that's like, in the way of that sun.
Nope.
So
Even the texture in the concrete too. It's not super flat. You captured all that, especially with the high sun. You sometimes can lose some of that detail because of that, but you really captured all of it. I may just consider also, just because this railing here is slightly darker than this railing, maybe try to match that.
yeah, I can see that. You have the line from the shadow is leading your eye right to that hot spot.
Right. So maybe just like kind of using like your brush tool or using Photoshop and just creating this as like a selection, or even just like painting on here and then trying to use like an eyedropper tool or something to match this color to that. I think if you did that, this railing wouldn't be as hot, and I think it would actually really bring the image back together too.
I kind of like it really white.
Me too.
Yeah, so do I.
It just gives it a more
Maybe flip the image.
modern look. It just feels like it needs that.
I think it adds another dimension to the picture.
Yeah, it contrasts with the extreme black in the center.
Yeah.
You have white, you have black, and you have midtones.
Yeah, I like it the way it is.
Yep.
Thanks.
Good job, Peter. That
Very
guy's
nice.
minimalism.
Those are really great shots tonight, guys. For a tough subject, I think everyone's doing very well.
Yeah, where's Jacob Miller? Wasn't he the one that inspired this?
Yeah, he was the one that was sharing those things and stuff.
Do we have any more comments for Peter?
Great shot.
Thanks, guys.
Well done. Well done. All right, next up we got Reed. All right.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with minimalism, and like I said, I like Peter, I went out looking for something minimalist and couldn't really find anything I liked, so I just cropped an existing photo that I had taken in the last week or two and ended up with this.
Is that the one with the picture of all the apples in the
Yep.
bin? Yep.
Yes, it is. So I don't know to start with if it meets the definition of minimalism, but it was that's what I got.
What if you took the picture and moved it so the edge cut through the center of that apple and you just had like red and then had more black off to the right?
I just cut out the leaf and everything.
Here, Nikki. Or tell me when to stop.
No, the problem you have in there is cutting that stem off partially, or the leaf. It's like cutting off somebody's arm or leg mid.
You said you crop this a lot too, right?
Sorry?
You said you crop the image because this is the one of the barrel. But
Yeah, there's a whole barrel of apples, and I just zeroed in on one and tried to put some negative space in there to see if it would bring it out.
Makes me want to take a bite out of that apple.
They were good.
If you crop that apple in the lower left-hand corner, if you just brought the bottom up and then it's just one apple, would that help it? Just a little bit
Like
more.
so?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, it gives it more negative space.
Yeah. Yeah. Scott, I would
kind
try,
of recognizable as an apple,
but I agree, Scott. I'm struggling with that other apple in the shot.
I'm thinking this one too, here. just wish it was more.
That one you could just darken down a little bit.
Yeah. You could
That's what I did with the others.
Just like quickly kind of tone it down. You'd obviously have to do a little bit more detailed stuff, but bring your color down or something like that. Try to darken it a little bit to match something up here.
I think I'd like to see the white spots darkened a little bit.
Like right here, the highlight.
Yeah.
The specular highlights.
Yep.
I might turn saturation down a little bit too, because you're starting to see like this real magenta here too, which is not common for an apple, right? You want that red. Kind of, I think it's a little bit hot right here with the magentas vice the reds. I would actually try to think maybe zooming in again, if you get another opportunity to shoot like apples or something like that, try to get, because I know you had to heavily crop it, so you're going to lose some of your texture and your detail because you're losing a lot of that information. So try and focusing on more just one apple. I know you worked with just a bucket.
Got it action right away. And
It does have a painterly effect.
It does.
Yeah, I've seen minimalist shots of just fruit, and that's what I was trying to go for. I assumed that was minimalism that I was looking at, but apparently maybe too much fruit.
What about doing a black and white? Because you have 3 different colors in there plus the black. I don't think it works for this photo. I love the photo, but I love the image, but the trying to convert it to minimalistic is not seeming to work.
Yeah.
Because there's just some really interesting spots in it.
I think you could definitely use an apple like this with like one little leaf maybe, and then just kind of focusing on getting it set up somewhere, more of a set shot, and work with that to make it so that way you don't have the distraction of the other apples like here in the original.
I was thinking the background could be black velvet. You know, if you had an apple for minimalism and just put black velvet, put it, you know, use the black velvet as a background.
Yeah, I was trying to go.
Yeah, I would try reshooting it too.
maybe not so much saturation, like half of that. It just seems so vibrant. I think that's kind of what's distracting, is the vibrancy of it, not so much the subject. I don't know, like black and white almost worked, but not quite.
Did we just lose Reed?
I think so.
That's 5 minutes.
Yep, I think he's gone.
Uh-oh.
He left to reshoot it.
Oh, that's a man of action there.
He's quick. He's quick.
Well, Reed, good shot, definitely. I would just try taking that again. I mean, and see what you can do, because heavily cropped images are tough. So, all right. So next up we have Mr. Thorpe. What does everybody think?
I don't know if it's minimalism or not.
What if you took the lowered the top down so it's just the chairs and the light?
Yeah, get rid of the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, for classic minimalism, yeah, that
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, that one does.
You could even put
Really
a
nice.
blur up to the top to shorten that depth of field.
Yeah, it almost seems, Scott, like you have two minimalist shots in this. This one works pretty well, and I'm curious if we cropped the benches out at the bottom and just kept the top.
I was thinking the same thing, Dennis. Trying it the other way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think either one of those work pretty well.
Yeah, you get two.
The curse of two subject matters.
Ice is troubling.
Yeah, it was just a place I was working in, and I had my iPhone, so I said, what the heck? You know, it's like,
oh, so it's not a real
benches used to be
photograph.
there.
Sorry, guys, my power died right in the middle of my conversation with the other photo. Sorry.
Like, what? Reed hate us now? Go to reshoot already?
Yeah, no. I had my laptop plugged in, and the cat knocked the plug out of the wall, and I didn't know it. I got no warning the power was going out.
I said something.
You were mad at us.
I said something. There was no comment. Like, I think Reed mad at me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but Scott, I think there's two really good shots here. I think cropped off as each of those. That is very interesting. The three seats there. You have your odds for your good composition, that whole lit floor. And then I think the one, is that a bed that's?
No, that's actually, that's an old trunk, and that's some asbestos flooring in front of it.
Oh, okay. Because I really don't mind the windows blown out at all in the shot like that. I think both of those work really well as a minimalist shot. I don't think thing as a whole, I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that.
I love the shot. I think that you have, for minimalism strictly, more impact doing it either this way or the other way.
Although now that I know that that's more of a stage, those seats sort of make a lot more sense.
Yep.
The seats kind of makes up like kind of
Yeah.
a story too.
Right.
Like, what am I watching?
Right.
You
I
know,
thought that was like a bedroom or
it's up
something.
for it.
And now that I got it with the three seats there, I don't know. It's kind of working for me now, Scott.
Yeah, I like the whole image even as a minimalist image.
Yes, exactly.
It's the top floor of the old town hall in Rollinsford, and
Cool.
it's just, I had to wait. You know, the clouds were coming, so it was making shadows on the floor, and I said, I just got to wait a bit. And and I was lucky. I was working there for 2 days, so just pulled out the iPhone and click. That's it.
Yeah, I like this one, Scott. Now that I thought that was like a bedroom set. I couldn't see it. Again, you know, it's pretty small on my screen here, but I kind of like it now with the three seats. It's like, you know, you're here for the show and it's a 3-person audience. Yeah, I don't know. Now it worked for me.
Well, I think he's lucky. He's got 3 pictures in one.
Yeah.
Oh, leave it to Scott.
That
I
one
feel like,
bright spot,
this
though.
would be better if Chucky were up on stage.
There you go.
Just like sitting right on the edge.
That one bright spot though, like under the window on the right hand side, it's touching the wood. Yes. If you could
Yeah, I
tone
see
it
that
down a
now.
little bit, maybe even it out. That was the only thing I think that was distracting me as a whole.
Yeah. Scott, do you ever use a 50% gray layer to paint on?
Sometimes I do, but
You know,
when it's
I
an iPhone like this, I just sort of do it with mobile Lightroom.
Yeah. If I took this into Photoshop, I might just do some dodging and burning around that stage area. The very front of the stage, I might bring out a little bit more. Those 2 columns, if I could get that out a little bit more. I think now that I see it more as a stage, I like the 3 seats there.
Oh, thanks. I duck in the sides a little bit because there was a lot of junk in there.
Yeah. No, I think it works because your eye is definitely starts on the seats and goes right up to, again, the stage.
Yeah, that light on the floor makes a nice triangle, which you're always looking for compositionally if you can find it.
It's gorgeous.
It's really well done.
Thanks.
You're
And that's
welcome.
about 5 minutes.
All right.
Any last comments for Scott?
I did pick the seats of 3. There were seats of 2, and then I remembered the discussion that we've had with the number 3. So I threw the one with the 3 in there.
Yeah, if you get subject matter like that, you always want them in odds.
Yeah, odd numbers.
Yeah, so that was perfect.
All right. Great job, Scott. As always. Up next, we have Sean Pierce.
Now I know where this is.
Been there.
Now, as far as it being minimalist, I'm not entirely sure myself. I was going with the light and dark, but as far as what I've done in the last month that even approaches minimalism, this is pretty much it. So
Single portion on empty track.
Beautiful image, Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, great image.
Yeah, and they pulled all the garden out and they took all the fountains out for the winter.
Yeah, this was probably one of the last nights I could have gotten this. So I happened to be out there shooting something else and just saw it was still up, so I took it.
There is big rumor that they're doing away with this park. They're going to bulldoze it and make a new one down by the river.
I saw the plans for it. I'm not sure I love it.
Yeah, they
Taking
said that those.
Prescott Park.
Keep the old one.
No,
It'll
yeah,
still be Prescott Park, but they're going to there's some talk about redesigning it, and there would still be a park there, but it wouldn't be the same park that you're used to.
it's not going to be that park. They said those trees are near the end of their life, so they're going to take them out before they die.
I was
Oh,
gonna say that. Yeah.
so this little garden you mean will be gone?
Yeah, that whole thing's going to be gone, and they're going to
Oh,
plant
that's
some.
sad.
Yeah, those
Yeah, I
plans
know.
don't last
That's
long.
real sad. And they're going to plant a whole new one down next to the river.
Why would they do that? I mean, that's
'Cause
what
it's
makes
Portsmouth.
Prescott Park.
New era.
Are they gonna put it where the UNH flower garden is?
No, I think they're going to put it right down near the river. They want people to be able to see the river from the flower park itself. I don't know
I mean, they're
why.
talking about redesigning all of Prescott Park.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge project they're talking about. But I think it's still in the committee and stuff. There's nothing that's going to happen right away.
Well, I think it's sad that sometimes they just change things when, people enjoy. I mean, people enjoy this fenced-in area. And I don't know. I think it's
Okay,
sad.
before we get all
It
upset
hasn't
about it, it
started
hasn't
yet.
happened. It hasn't even been approved. There's just talks about it. So let's everybody just take the temperature down, Scott. Come on, don't start trouble.
All right. Sorry, I'm a downer. It's such a good image. though. You have your
Hey,
3
Sean?
subjects.
Yes.
Sean, I'm finding myself distracted by the starburst on the left.
Yeah,
Is that,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oh, the street light.
Yeah, it's brighter.
I think it's a light on the side of the
Lower
building there, I
light.
think. Yeah.
Where
Yeah, I
everything
mean,
else is warm colored, that cool colors, like it's only one out there. So even if you could warm it up, it almost might tie in with.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah, just get it to match at least. Wouldn't be that hard to clone it out, really. So
No.
No,
I
no.
like the shot overall. I wish if this was from a minimalist perspective, I wish each of these 3 main subjects would have been singular, right? I think that first fountain out front is fabulous. If you would have moved to the right and got that just in the scene by itself with the vegetation around it, that would have been very interesting. And I think if you would have gone up alongside each of the other 2, I think that's a sculpture in the middle and then another fountain in the rear there. I think each of them singularly. Really like the shot though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't think it
you go
says-
through the image too much, Sean, You don't have that one subject, that distinctive point that really draws you in. Like I love it. You go through the whole image. Like you have detail and flowers here and a little over there. The trees have some nice definition that brings you back up and over to the right and then back down through the image. You really walk through this whole image. But like you said, you're minimalist, maybe not.
Oh, right. I agree with you. I agree.
You know, like have maybe focused on one of the fountains instead of three, maybe. I don't know.
I know it's hard to shoot this even as like one fountain because there's a lot of other things, like there's a tree behind each one.
Yeah, it's pretty cluttered to try and just do one. And I literally was walking by on my way someplace else and saw it and just quickly shot it because I was actually that was the night that I shot the bridge for the cancer group. So I was kind of in between shots and just sort of ran over here and grabbed this and didn't give it much thought. Wasn't trying to do minimalism. So
no, I get you there.
But no, I agree with you. Like I said, wanted to make sure I threw something in here, but I just haven't, other than studio work, I haven't done much of anything in the last month or so. So, but yeah, no, I appreciate the comments.
I've seen the sculpture. I've seen the sculpture that's in the center, and I've seen the fountains, but they never show up like they do in this image. This is very unique, and not many people will have it, but it really shows it in a different way, and I like it. I don't think it's minimalism, but I really think it's a good perspective of the whole scene.
Yeah,
it's hard
appreciate that.
Agreed.
What if, I don't know if this would work. What if you came and cropped down to the line in the fence and then on the right side just cropped over to the edge of the far fountain? Could you get away with something like that?
For minimalism?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that it is just too busy of an image and on the whole to really be minimalism. And I agree with people. I thought I could get away with the intense brights and the darknesses, but I'm too much of a sucker for a well-balanced image, I guess. I'm gonna have to go. I do have an idea for a minimalist photo that I'm gonna try and put together. We just have to wait for the right time, but didn't get it done before the critique, so you get this instead.
So this is probably a really bad idea, but what about putting like an elliptical around the fountains and then invert it and then drop everything in the background, the exposure, just drop it down to 0, or not 0, but negative, whatever you can get. And it's kind of going to stress the image a lot, but
say something like
and it's
this.
rotated so it's elongated.
Like toned down like this, mean kind of
Well,
thing.
that right there, yeah, that's pushing you towards that
nice.
one.
You could even do the middle one and put it vertical.
Well, so saying you turn that one and you can get it, grab the one of the edges, turn it. There you go. I don't know. It's probably stressing it too much, but
not really.
I mean, you could play with it because you can make it bigger and then just focus on the luminosity in these and then make a difference to them. But
it's still grabbing a lot of fence and stuff in the background there.
Yeah,
that's a little better. My focus is more now on the fountains, the 3 as one, and not so much the fence.
Yeah, you could do something like that, but I mean, I think that's actually not a bad idea when you go ahead and edit.
You know what would be cool is to darken out the other 2 and completely invert the photo so that this fountain is upside down.
Something like that, but that's another take I didn't think about, Will. Oh, I think it's a great shot, Sean.
Yeah, definitely.
Great shot. That's about 5 minutes.
Thanks.
All right. Moving on to the second to last, we have Tom Sorensen. What does everybody think?
Same as Sean, I made something work. wasn't out shooting minimalism. So I played with stuff and tried to pull something out.
I think this works though. I think if you crop it up a bit and get rid of some of the water in the front, that'll help to just isolate that little house in amongst all the colorful trees. Is this done with a tilt shift or is this an effect?
I was just going to ask the exact same question.
Yeah, I brought it into Photoshop and I did a tilt shift.
Gotcha. Okay, but it's not like an actual.
And I brought it in really, really, really tight to the cabin to the point where it's just above that orange and red tree.
Yep.
And then I tried to make it symmetrical as far as depth going down.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks miniature, which is it's kind of cool.
Could you do that with a radial filter and then just like kind of focus right here and then have it blur out the rest?
No, actually everything's in focus. In this actual shot, I have like everything's in focus.
Yeah. Because I can see the line here.
Yeah.
I can see the line here going across. So I was
Yeah.
wondering, because I know you did like, it almost looks like you put a line here and then went down. I was wondering if you could put like a radial filter, like something like this, and then use this effect around it all the way to here. So that way these trees would be blurry also, but only thing would be focused would be this. I think it would kind of be a little bit more balanced because these hard lines here are, to me, are just a little distracting.
I see what you're saying, Jared. I like that. No, I actually thought of that after the fact, actually. I was thinking about it today.
Jared,
because I can tell that this is focus, and it's like I already know this scene is. You can tell is a very fall festive scene, so it's hard to work with if you're trying to make everything less of a distraction in the image.
Jared, try cropping it up to get rid of that section of out of focus water and make it more panoramic. And I think if the trees, I think it helps to bring your attention just to the little white house.
Yeah, it does.
Now this doesn't seem as weird to me because it's just weird seeing the out of focus here, but in focus here. If you just have this portion out of focus and then leaving this, I think it's the right move, Sean.
For minimalism, would you want to crop in also from the left and get pretty close to the red tree? Because that way the white house.
Crop out the white anyways.
What's that?
I feel like the white's throwing it off too right now.
But right there, back just a little bit to the left. Because from what I've read about minimalism, it can be way down, not on the rule of thirds, but in a different spot.
Yeah, you can take it to extremes like that. Yeah.
I don't know if that does it. But
I was
think
trying to get rid of the white background too. Just because I got rid of one, I wanted to just get rid of the rest of it and see the image. Because you could play with this too and move it in different positions, kind of thing, to figure out where you wanted that boathouse. Like for me, maybe a little closer to the line, one of our 1/3 lines, but.
It reminds me of the Viewmasters we used to have when we were kids.
The 3D one.
It's an interesting view. It looks even more miniature right there.
It does.
Like something you'd see on like a train set or something.
Well, and by bringing it in like this, it speaks to the scale. That house on the mountain of trees behind it. I mean, I almost wonder. I mean, yes, it's the way that it falls off focus wise. That's making it look sort of miniature like that because it's such a shallow depth of field, but it's such a grand scene. I'm not sure if I like it with the. I mean, I like it no matter what, but I'm not sure if I think the out of focus areas is helpful at this point.
I agree. I like this scene a lot. And I think it could possibly work as a minimalist like this, but not with the
Tilt shift.
sort of tilt shift focus.
Yeah, I kind of struggled with it.
Yeah.
'Cause I felt there was too much texture in the lower water and in the trees. I was like Sean's photos, like walking through the whole thing, looking at all the trees and the clusters of this and the clusters of that. You know, it wasn't that I was focused on that cabin. So that was kind of like the minimalist thinking, that sole subject really that stands out. I found that worked the best anyways, but
That's 5 minutes.
Well, I love this picture, Tom. I would love to see it without the out of focus portions. But I think it's something you could play with and try some of the ideas we just threw at you and see if we can make something work out of it.
Yeah.
Something I would try to play with a little bit because we still got time before the show. So, any last comments for Tom? All right.
Nice work, Tom.
Good work, Tom.
Yeah, good shot.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
You're pretty.
And last but not least, Mr. Capozzi. What does everybody think?
I really rushed this thing too.
I like the simplistic nature of it. I'm not sure it's minimalist.
Yeah, there is a lot going on with that leaf too there.
Well, I mean,
maybe just the leaf or just the lens.
graphically, it's not necessarily minimalist, but in subject matter, it's minimalist for sure. You know, so it's hard because I think minimalism, I'm finding, it kind of just depends on how you define it. You know, and some things work different ways as minimalism. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it certainly tells the story of a photographer in New Hampshire in October.
Yeah, I was kind of going for it, but it's just, I don't know, I'm not like in the background with it, all that, and shot it right on the front porch. So all that wood grain and everything's really kind of
That's not
a
super.
lot there. Yeah,
Tom,
it's just,
I think
it's
this.
another attribute.
I think I would have tried to do a couple more placements and see if I could like reduce having this dark line here.
Yeah.
Get it completely onto one of the boards, maybe.
Right. And then other thing I would look at potentially too is like these little, oops, that's the right one.
Oh, that lens was dirty too. I was
Like,
trying to get all the specks and dust off there. Yeah.
Micro fleece cloth will take off all that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, like I said, I rushed it. I saw it on there and then I tried to clean it up real quick and it didn't get all of it. And yeah.
but yeah, I would just reposition stuff and like, because I don't think the wood grain that you're talking about is so much of a distraction because it is part of the negative space and it gives it a little bit of texture, but I don't find it super distracting myself personally.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's loud.
Does a vignette help that one a little bit?
Let's take a look. Yeah, that would definitely help a little bit.
What about desaturating everything but reds and oranges? So going into a hue scale and like taking the saturation out.
Yeah, go to the HSL slider.
Yep.
And
take those blues out.
Yeah, just take the saturation down everywhere but red and orange and probably yellow.
Probably red orange. Yeah.
Not luminance, saturation.
Oh, wrong one. It's 9 o'clock.
It is, yeah.
Losing my mind a little bit.
And helps it a little better. Still not minimalism because it's not, I guess it's not within the frame. Your subject.
These bills in the leaf, so you could probably take these down slightly.
certainly helps to stylize it a little bit.
Yeah. Before, I think yeah, because I think the blue here, now that we've removed some of that saturation, I think that would help it a little bit too.
All right. Yeah, I had an idea in my head and I wasn't capturing it either. And so this is close, but not quite what I was going for. But
I think we all know that frustration, trust me.
We all do.
Absolutely. The things that we see in our heads, and you just sometimes you just can't make it happen.
Click and repeat.
Yep. It's part of the game. That's why it makes it fun, challenging at the same time. Any other comments for Will?
Yeah, great job, Will.
Great job, Will.
Yes, great job.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I guess that's the end of critique meeting.
I'm going to stop sharing. Come back to our view so I can see everybody's shining faces. And nope, it looks like everyone's still awake.
Yeah, barely. So, yeah, I mean, great job, everybody. This is a tough subject. We have roughly another month before drop off for the show. Drop off will be November 30th. For those who haven't heard that yet, November 30th at RPAC. I don't know what day that is, but it'll probably be in the afternoon. Usually we do that. We'll do drop off and hanging after they close. So it'll be like drop off after 5 o'clock probably. But we'll get that all figured out exactly as we get closer. Tuesday. Oh, no, November 30th is a Tuesday.
November 30th is a Tuesday.
So before that, we still have one more in-person meeting, which is on the third Tuesday of the month. On the calendar up in front of me.
The 16th.
That is November 16th. And then our critique meeting would be the 23rd. And then drop off is the 30th. So 3 straight Tuesdays. And then the very last meeting of the year is Sunday, the 5th of December. And that is our annual potluck celebration / winter show opening at RPAC. Some of you guys were members of the club the last time we were able to do that. Some of you weren't because of COVID. But essentially what we do is we take that great big room and we line tables, and it really is just a celebration of the year. We made it through another year. So we have power strips set up so people can bring crock pots if they want, bring desserts, whatever you want, and bring your families. It's the show opening as well. We give out awards. So it's a good time. So that's Sunday, December 5th, like 1 to 4. It's in the afternoon. So that's going to be coming up, and that'll be the end of the year. Then the first meeting in January is, I don't want to say a date at this point because we may be switching from Tuesdays. That's something that's in discussion at the moment. But the first meeting in January is our annual speed learning, which is a lot of fun. It's basically bring your questions and we do our best to answer them for you. It becomes very personalized, which is nice. But details exactly when that is will be coming once we know. Leadership meeting, we're going to have one of those this upcoming week. So if there's anything you want us to discuss, you have any ideas or anything that you want to, topics you want to potentially tackle next year, get them to us. We are in the planning modes for 2022 at this point. So Nikki French sent a great email with some great suggestions. So that's great. I just wanted you to know I did get that, Nikki. I'm not always good about responding to an email. But I guess that's it for tonight, at least. If you have any other suggestions or wants or needs or whatever, just let us know. So, and if any particular day during the week, I think we're looking at potentially, I think we may stick with Tuesday. Wednesday is out, so potentially Thursday. So Tuesday or Thursday, if either one of those days work better for you, let us know. And we'll start kind of accumulating that. But we're running into scheduling conflicts with other groups, with people who are in multiple clubs and stuff, and we're trying to avoid that because it's nice to see Deb and Pat Corlin and the Morses, and so. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Nice job tonight, Jared. Way to lead the meeting.
Thanks, everybody. Nice picks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Buddy.
Thank
Very
you.
well done.
Good
night.
Bye, guys.
Everyone.
Night.
Good night.